My man Jared is bringing you the hottest untranslatable
Chad's
audio.
behind the ones and twos right now. I'm just sitting here looking at my notes.
You're sitting here looking sharp and ready to go. Well, that's because I saw your notes, Jared. They consist of 2 words. And That's all I saw on your notes today.
That sums up the podcast pretty well.
Yeah, I mean filler words, you know. Yeah, there's a lot of cultures and a lot of people are not fans of them, though. They have them in their language, but they're not always looked at as a positive thing.
They weren't looked at as a positive thing when I was a kid.
Oh, definitely not.
Before we get into that, do you want to play a game, Chad?
Always, of course.
This game is called Should We Cancel Them?
Uh-oh, okay.
Have you heard about hashtag cancel Netflix?
No, why do people want to cancel Netflix?
I have the news here, and this is not meme news. This is news from The Verge.
Okay.
Why?
Not Twitter either.
So yeah, you're doing well. You're really going off. You're really giving up on and you're trying to lose any sort of connection to your cell phone. And I say that like it's a bad thing. Obviously, it's not. I respect it. So you probably haven't seen the hashtag cancel Netflix and all that stuff.
Nope. No, sir.
Why cancel Netflix is trending. How the streamer's bad marketing poster mutated into a QAnon conspiracy theory and harassment campaign. First of all, look at this. Look at this picture. Let me know what you think of this picture.
I'm really confused.
All right, that's the right answer.
Is it even real?
That's a real picture from what I'm about to tell you about regarding hashtag cancel Netflix. Groups of conservative provocateurs, QAnon supporters, and others on social media have jumped on the release of the French coming of... It's weird that they just put it on them. I'm just going to read the article. Release of the French coming-of-age film Cuties, and a trend...
Oh, I haven't seen this, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, and a trend canceling...
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen
it.
Okay. I barely watch Netflix as it is. There's no way I'm going out of my way to watch a show called Cuties.
Yeah.
About children.
I heard it did get some backlash.
I did too, but let me just keep reading this.
Okay.
And other social media have jumped on the release of the French coming-of-age film Cuties and a trending cancel Netflix hashtag to associate the company with pedophilia. This isn't the first time the people have... you know what? As someone that just came back from Lisbon, Ohio, in the middle of nowhere, now that it's actually starting to make sense when I see those signs about those Trump signs.
Okay.
Vote for Trump to stop pedophiles, globalists, Satanists. Now I understand what they're talking about. No, I'm kidding. There isn't. This isn't the film that people have tried. This isn't the first film people have tried to cancel on Netflix. Republicans tried in 2018 following Netflix's confirmation that it had signed a multi-year deal with Barack and Michelle Obama to produce a series of titles. Why are those in the same thing? I don't
see the connection.
It's not the first time. But it's just so. No, but the thing is, it's so crazy to me that they're like that these conservatives are like, we need to like how is it that all right, Cuties seems like a legitimate thing to be maybe concerned about, but then how is it also that Barack Obama and Michelle are like, well, they're also another legitimate thing to be concerned about having a Netflix deal, much like the pedophile show,
right? But
I just don't understand.
And isn't there stuff about Trump on Netflix as well?
I don't know. Is there?
I mean, I think so, but
okay.
I don't know if it doesn't matter. It's crazy.
Anyway. Yeah. Earlier this year, people threatened to cancel Netflix over 365 Days, a movie that petitioners argued glorified sexual violence against women, and at the same time that people are calling for others to cancel Netflix over Cuties, there's a petition from fans of shows like Jessica Jones, The OA, and Anne with an E hosting a cancel Netflix campaign to try to bring attention to their favorite series that has been canceled. But let's just go to what is Cuties.
Okay.
Directed by Memouna Doucouré. Cuties is a French... Flawless. Cuties is a French movie that critiques society's sexualization of girls. The movie follows an 11-year-old Senegalese girl living in Paris who dreams of joining a local dance clique. She decides to Okay. She decides to protest her parents' strict household and join the other girls in dancing their way through competitions, trying to make a name for themselves. Cuties uses uncomfortable images to provoke a serious conversation about the sexualization of girls, especially regarding girls of color, the policing of girls' sexuality, double standards, the effect of social media on kids, and how children learn these behaviors. One critic wrote on Roger Ebert, Ducourt's intent is to show that our children should have the time to be children, she told Time magazine this month. In using
Kids
imagery
should be kids.
about exploited youth, Ducourt wants to hit home just how important. Sorry, I sound like a real idiot. I should never have gotten
slip
into
right there, Charles.
hit home just how important innocence is and how much it's taken for granted today. The film even won the World Cinema Dramatic Directing Award at Sundance Film Festival this year, and it was widely praised for its depiction of the pressure of girlhood. Netflix secured the global stream rights to the. Oh, I could have done a rate this apology too. We could still do it because I believe Netflix put out a statement. Let's see if they.
I like how you give me flack for having old guy font, and you have this super.
Oh, I just did that because I just did that because I kept making mistakes. Also, on my desktop computer, because it's so big, I can comfortably have Google Chrome on 125, and it still takes up like it's not like it doesn't look as big. So it won some awards.
That desktop life is a good life to be living.
It is a good life. It is a good life. But now I also have my work desktop. I told you I got that, which is about the same size, and it's almost too much. I feel like I'm in a Minority Report command station. And I can't even sit up. I don't even like sitting at my desk that much anymore, which is why I'm happy to have a new computer, because my desk is so overwhelmed with computer screens. It's too much. Anyway, Variety. Cuties would be translated. Okay, so here we go. Netflix secured a global streaming rights to the film.
So is the movie in English or in French? In French, I'm assuming, right?
To the film, with Variety noting at the time that Cuties would be translated into more than 40 languages. I believe it's probably French.
Okay.
Under the Netflix umbrella, the film would stream in 190 countries. Blah blah blah, excluding France, where it had domestic distribution. Okay, so
where's this apology?
Let's see if I can find it.
Is it here?
Let's see if I can find it.
Got me all excited with Rate This Apology.
Here we go.
So now, what are they apologizing for exactly?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
You'll see in the apology. Not long after. Okay, so that's a great point. Netflix's gaffe. That's a great point.
Okay.
Despite the film existing for some time, it wasn't until August that people really became aware of it. In August, Netflix tweeted a teaser for the movie's release date that came with a new poster designed by Netflix's team. The new poster seemed to present a different type of movie than the one Ducourt made. The original, and I'll show you the posters, obviously. The original French poster framed the main cast of girls as young girls, walking through the streets of Paris, waving around shopping bags and having fun. Netflix's now deleted poster positioned the girls as older characters, similar to posters for for other dance movies like Step Up. Here are the side-by-side comparisons of the French version versus the Netflix version.
Whoa, nice.
So the French version was the first one I showed you, which is...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's unreal, dude. They're completely different.
Yeah, they look... Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know what to say.
Take the left one. Take the left one.
Yeah.
The right one is just so weird.
And you know what? It makes me wonder. What were those marketing meetings like? Because obviously there's a whole this is a corporation, so they decide to change it. They're good.
And this is the American version, right?
This is the Netflix version.
The Netflix, right?
So I guess yes, American, but this is So this is what that was the original one.
How do you say that word? Mignons.
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 No, Minones.
Minones.
Minones, I believe.
Okay.
Minone. That's what it is. Not nays. They don't pronounce the S. Right. I know that.
It's not mayonnaise.
Not long after So let's get to the. You know what? This turns into. This has turned into a rate this apology.
Okay, yeah,
I
let's hear
totally forgot that Netflix put something out. I can't believe that. Not long after Netflix tweeted the poster, including descriptions of the movie as 11-year-old Amy becoming fascinated with a twerking dance crew. Tweets sprang up calling Netflix to take the poster down. I saw those. Those tweets then.
Did you retweet any of them?
No, it didn't seem like
they're not good. Okay,
no,
fine.
it wasn't that it was good or bad. It was just like I don't need to. I don't know.
Be involved in this.
Yeah,
I feel you. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
Those tweets then snowballed into a few different Change.org campaigns decrying Netflix's decision to carry the film, garnering tens of thousands of signatures within a couple of days. Netflix had removed the poster and used different artwork for the film on its platform. I don't even know what it looks like now. I mean, I guess I could just open Netflix and see. Now that I'm inside, I have, I guess, better...
Yeah, got that Wi-Fi action. Lickety split, too, with that pooter. Yeah.
Oh, here it is. It's
so did they
like a little. It's like the little Senegalese girl in a grocery store with her siblings. So they went just fully the other way. They're like, all right,
right, makes sense.
Let's just not even try.
That's what people do. They overcorrect.
So then, and is it overcorrecting? I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong.
I mean, I would have just gone back to the original.
Yeah, the original.
I mean, really.
Yeah, and
what's
now
wrong
that
with the original?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
But I get that they try to market it differently to different audiences.
Sure, of course.
I get that.
Of course.
And
that's why I'm like, I wonder
weird.
what those marketing meetings were like, where this one went up the ranks. You're like, yeah, that looks good. That's the image we're trying to put off.
Right.
So here's what Netflix said, Chad.
Yep, let's hear this apology.
We're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that was used for Cuties, a statement posted to Netflix's account on August 20th read. It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film, which won an award at Sundance.
Yep, you really? Oh, man.
A statement and removal of the poster didn't clear everything up. By September 3rd, a Turkish media watch group demanded the film be banned from Netflix in Turkey over concerns that the movie promoted child exploitation, Reuters reported. Several high-profile conservative commentators picked up on the story, too. They started tweeting about Netflix grooming children and arguing that it's pedophilia soft porn. Ooh. I don't like those words in sequence. Yeah. Former NRA spokesperson Dana, what's her name? Loesch?
I don't know.
Your dad would know because she's on CNN all the time.
Always a good title to start with. Former, what is an NRA spokesperson?
Yeah, that's how you know they're coming from a great stance.
Right.
Said remove the film entirely. Blah blah blah. Okay, so what do you think of their apology? They didn't remove obviously they didn't remove it from Netflix. Right. They just said sorry for the imagery. We messed up on that. 1 to 10.
I don't know. I mean, in a way, I feel like although it's kind of a lackluster apology, they did change the picture. I don't know. Did they remove it from Turkish Netflix?
I don't know.
Because I don't know.
But I agree with you.
I would say as an apology, like a 5 or a 6, to be honest.
Really?
Or maybe a 7.
Our scales are.
Where would you put it?
I mean, the fact that they changed it counts for something.
Well, for sure.
Because we talk about, what's the action that you should do. And
saying sorry isn't enough.
That's the obvious action.
Yeah,
you can't be like,
sorry,
and then leave it. Like, if you're if you're going to leave it, then don't apologize, obviously, because you're really not that sorry.
Right.
So the fact that they changed it counts for something for me.
What does that say either about the perception the marketing team or whoever designed this has on other people? Or... What?
I mean, I guess that shows you what Netflix.
Not quite time for untranslatables yet.
I guess that shows you what essentially Netflix think about like how they think like their customers, because how they perceive their customers, I guess, and like what they think will quote unquote sell. But it's like there's a line on when obviously quote unquote sex sells, but there's. Gotta be
weird.
Obviously a line when we're talking about children.
Oh, for
Even though it is, obviously it's about like, sort of, over sexualizing children. It's like, but it's like the irony is that then you're like doing it.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird.
It's.
I give
weird.
the apology like a 7.
Okay.
And I kind of weird.
I'm
that,
sticking by my 6.
I kind of like that it was to the point too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, all right, you're saying too much. Like, and now you're just.
Right.
We're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we used for Cuties. It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film, which won an award at Sundance. I think that's okay. I give that a 7 or 8, 7.5.
Yeah,
I'm okay with
it's
that.
okay. Could be better. Could be worse. But Jared, I think you might know. It would be good if we could.
Spread a little love.
That's right. And the first shout out I have goes out
Spread a
to
little
Zimbabwe because they have banned coal mining in some of their national parks and game parks.
Great.
And I just think it's crazy, the idea of any government or country that exploits a national park for like oil
Yeah.
or like other resources. Like a national park should be like to me it's like a safe nature space, right?
We both know that greed knows no bounds, Chad.
That's true.
I mean, people do terrible things for money.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good that they're doing that, especially since like all the wildlife that is there too. And I can only imagine the effect that such big industry can have on on animals, wildlife. Oh, those are wild dogs. I saw those when I
those are hyenas, aren't they?
I believe those are wild dogs. I saw those when I was in South Africa. I believe those are wild dogs. Look up a hyena. That's not what a hyena looks like. A hyena has like a weird shaped back.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
See, like this is a hyena.
Right. Yeah.
It has a super long neck.
has
But look
the
at
tuft. Yeah.
wild
on the back of the neck.
African dogs.
And you
See?
saw them? Oh, dang. Are they dangerous? Are they
Not
friendly?
really to humans. I mean, we were in a off-road SUV.
Okay.
But in South Africa at least, they have one of the highest kill rates of any prey. Because they hunt in packs, and so they're way more effective.
will they kill you?
hunters than maybe not me,
Not you.
but
Because you can fight back. Yeah.
and they're not, and the only animal you weirdly couldn't really get close to was like a baboon. That was
They're dangerous.
like those we had to stay like
Yeah,
super
they
far away
are
from.
dangerous.
But even lions and stuff like that, you can get pretty close to them, and they're not gonna mess with you if you don't mess with them.
right.
They
Yeah.
kind of just ignore you. But the wild dogs. Look at that! I learned something from her. My parents
Yeah.
would be so proud.
Right. That's why it's important to travel, man. When
Yeah.
you can, for sure. But yeah, I think this is amazing.
I do too, yeah.
Protecting the national parks in Zimbabwe is great, and I think other places should definitely, act in a similar way and not exploit their beautiful national parks.
And we're already losing losing natural land at such a high rate, especially in like the oceans and stuff. But it's just like we need there needs to be someone that's preserving the land and not just everyone, usually the government that's so usually obviously not usually so money focused rather than actually preserving
right.
the land.
Oh, for sure.
I don't like it.
Yeah, me either. But anyway, shout out to Zimbabwe. That is great. My next shout out, Jared, this is a really heartwarming story we've got for you here. So, here, I got to pull this laptop closer. 1 second.
Look who can't read now.
Yeah, well, I can read the headline. But so the headline reads, their son wanted to see more black book characters, so they created a business to provide them. So this family here, let me see here. Victoria Scott Miller with husband Dwayne and sons Langston and Emerson.
Emerson, I like that name. I like Langston too, but
yeah,
I like Emerson.
those are both solid names.
They're strong
They
names,
are?
but they're not like
For sure.
common names,
Right.
super common names.
They're not cool names like Jared and Chad, but they're still great
They'll
names.
do.
For
They'll
sure.
do.
Yeah, they're all right. For sure. Anyway, so when Langston Miller was 8, he'd fill page after page with characters that looked like him and staple those pages together. He was already thinking about a distribution plan for his books. He wanted to see them in Barnes & Noble. His mother, Victoria Scott Miller, arranged an excursion to a local store in Raleigh, North Carolina to do market research, benefiting a curious and determined elementary schooler. Let's see if we can find 5 books that represent the type of work that you're doing and represent you as a little black boy, she told him, and let's see how long it takes us because we want people to be able to find your books.
I love how this kid's doing market research for his company.
Right? 2.5 hours later, they found 5 books, literally
that.
going on a scavenger hunt in the children's section. As Langston, now 9, said in a recent interview, he was looking for books that depicted how brilliant, handsome, smart, and how amazing we black boys are in picture quality. I'm not looking for things that show us. I feel awkward as a white dude reading this, but anyways.
You're quoting the child.
Yes.
You're not, these aren't Chad's personal.
These are not my personal words. Yeah. These are Langston's words.
I think we all get that you're quoting
right.
a article.
And he does do a great job.
Do you want me to read it if that would make you feel better? No. I'm a black boy.
No, you're a black man, first of all.
That's true.
But no. Anyways, in the picture quality, I'm not looking for things that show us with big lips, big bodies, big noses. I'm looking for things that actually represent us, show who we actually are. I'm a brilliant, handsome, intelligent black boy, just like my brother. For good measure, he repeated, and handsome. Love this kid's confidence. Dude is killing it with the confidence. But I just think this is an amazing story that, they started this business. They didn't have money for a brick and mortar store, no investors. And Scott Miller said, no one is going to stand behind the concept. So it's something we're going to have to do from the trunk of our car with a family. Coffers running low and rent worries. The couple took their last $250 and bought a small stash of discounted books that they sold at a profit.
I love that, like, the whole, it started with this child, but now the whole family is, like, running a business together.
Right. Yeah, and so it looks like now they're still working on selling these books and writing these books, and it's absolutely amazing.
That's awesome.
So,
I love that.
Yep. So big shout out to the entire family, Victoria, Scott Miller, and everyone else. That's really great.
Dwayne, Langston, and Emerson.
Yep, exactly. Well, Jared, do you think you know what time it might be?
I do think I know what time it is, even though I just moved my speakers away from me like a fool.
Well, Jared, if you would have just... first, before I get into it, I guess, Untranslatables are idioms, phrases, proverbs, axioms, words, slang, sometimes stuff in British or Canadian variants, since Jared and I are Americans. And we try to decipher those into American English.
Sometimes I like to do like American ones too, because Southerners have a lot of fun ones.
We should do another one with some real ones and pepper in some fake ones at some point.
Okay,
see if we can do that. That'd be a fun game. Anyways, Jared, I'm going to start you off with some Canadian ones. Let me turn this away from Jared a little bit because he's not a cheater.
Yeah, I can't.
You're
good. I can't really see.
First one. Well, actually, these go together really. Hang-a-Larry and Hang-a-Roger.
Oh, it's so funny. Don says that.
Does he really? Okay.
Whenever I travel with Don, I usually end up saying that. And I essentially, obviously, just like turn left and turn right.
That is correct.
So we usually say hang a Louie and a Reggie.
Oh, there we go.
But sometimes we'll just make up like any sort of L or R name when
hang a Lewis and yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that before. I like that one. It's fun. It's
Canadian,
fun to say.
Yep. Canadian English, my man.
Oh, hang a Roger there.
Hang a Larry, eh? Come on, you hoser. We got to go get some more Molsons from the store.
Okay, my first one is Serbian, and it's Desi u pičku Marterinu. Where are you? In your mother's, as Ben Shapiro would say, P word.
Ooh.
Where are you? In your mother's pussy?
Ooh, that's a rough one.
But I don't think it's a rough one for them.
Really? Okay.
I don't think so.
I don't even know
let me put it this way. Where are you in your mother's... no, that's not a good way to do it.
P word. What ass P word?
Maybe I could say, where have you been in your mother's pussy? No, instead of where are you?
I don't even.
It's an informal way of saying long time no see.
Really?
Yeah. Where you been in your mother's pussy?
Okay. That's a weird one, but okay. All right.
That's what they said.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I know.
It's a long time no see.
That's funny. My next one is also Canadian for you, Jared. Runners. Bring your runners, eh?
Oh, it's just like sneakers or or
trainers
or running shoes.
The trainers. Bring your trainers on Tuesday.
Word, I believe. I think British people. I think say runners too. Grab your runners.
Do they?
Yeah,
I thought they said trainers. We say
maybe,
sneakers.
Yeah, but there's multiple words for
That's
it here
true.
too. People say tennis shoes, sneakers.
Your sneaks.
Yeah. So I don't know. I believe they
shoes,
might say, "Hey, let us
runners.
know."
That's
Untranslatable
true.
podcast everywhere. You'll
That's
find
true.
us.
Yep.
Untranslatable one on Twitter, but you'd still find us if you put an Untranslatable podcast. It's your turn, right? No, it's my turn.
It's
You
your
did the
turn.
runners.
Yep.
My next one is Korean, and it's Ibi Shim Shim Hey Hi. Ibi Shim Shim Hai or Hey HAE.
Okay.
My mouth is bored.
Means when something doesn't taste good.
No,
It's like
oh, I
boring,
see what you're saying.
you
Like,
know?
this is not doing anything
Right.
for my mouth,
Right.
or is like bland, maybe.
Right.
No, that's not what it is.
Not what it is. Okay. Give me.
My
a clue.
mouth is bored. Think about it.
You're just bored. You're not entertained. No.
Have you ever found yourself just my mouth is bored. Well, let's say you see me eating a bag of potato chips and you ask me, why are you eating why are you eating that? And it's like, my mouth is bored. What would you think I would mean?
You're just eating from boredom.
Yeah, sure.
Eating to
but it
pass
also
the time.
yes, it is. But it also is just like a
Filler.
I'll give you that one, yes, because it means more like you're kind of hungry. It's like you're not.
You're snacking. You're nibbling.
Right. It's just my mouth is like it's
Your
yeah.
mouth is bored.
Yeah, exactly.
You're trying to occupy your mouth for a while.
I don't need to eat, but I can eat.
And my mouth is bored.
And I'm not doing anything
I'm
else.
gonna
so
stuff this pizza in my face. My mouth is bored.
Exactly. I love
That's
that
fair.
one.
My last one for today is Thai, and it is pasadok mai, which means literally translates as flower language.
Is that swear words?
No,
Is that like flirting
kind of.
or sweet talking someone, like brown nosing maybe?
I don't know if I'd say brown. Well, brown nosing maybe a little bit.
Flattering someone? That's kind of brown nosing.
Yeah. I think it's flattering someone in a romantic way.
So flirting?
So
Isn't that flirting?
Someone who uses tender and poetic words of love. Friends may, however, mock one another if they hear someone using such dreamy and romantic lingo when speaking with a love interest.
That's toxic masculinity. That's what that is.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, men don't let their are
Too flowery with
get
their
uncomfortable
language.
watching other men show true feelings and emotion.
Do you show lots of true feelings and emotions?
No, I
Jared?
have a lot of toxic masculinity I'm trying to work on.
Oh, don't we all, Jared? Don't we all? But one way to make sure you have lots of toxic masculinity is to use a lot of filler words.
Bro. Dude.
What? Like,
Yo.
there are tons of
Nah, mean.
filler words, I'm saying, that you can use that add no meaning or value really to a sentence or a conversation.
Like totally.
For reals. But we use a lot of them in English. But the whole premise for this episode idea came from a professor from USC. Forget the gentleman's name, who was put on leave or suspended, I think, because he was talking about the Chinese filler word, which is
No, I don't even want to.
which is Naga in some places also.
It's the N word.
Yes.
I don't know. Something's weird about having it recorded.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't blame you. Sorry. Didn't mean to put you on the
No,
spot
it's
like
fine.
that.
It's fine. It's fine because I did say it before. You are right.
But yeah. So anyways, the Chinese filler word. Well, let's just say this: the word for this in Chinese is jiga.
Yeah.
If the word for that, you just put an N where that J sound is, and I think it
that
does cover
covers
it. Yeah,
you can
so
figure it out.
I think so. Our listeners are pretty smart people.
Some people say, speaking of our listeners being smart, people tend to say, at least this is what I heard a lot growing up, is that, damn it. See, the problem with this episode is now I'm going to be hyper aware of all of my filler words that I use. My parents used to, or not my parents, just a lot of my parents, but not just them. A bunch of people.
I count all of Jared's filler words every episode. I have a chart.
Yeah, and I hate it every time, and that's why you brought it. That's why I should want to do this episode.
Yeah,
for
it's
real.
an intervention.
He's like,
actually,
I want you to
for Jared.
realize how terrible you are. My parents and a lot of other people. I don't know why I keep saying my parents. Commonly used to say that filler words were a sign of like a lack of intelligence. How do you feel about that?
There's some truth to it. I'd say there's some truth to it.
I'd say there's some truth to it probably, but I also feel like that's kind of oversimplifying it.
Yes, I agree.
Because there's a lot more that goes into communicating than just like knowing the words and intelligence.
I think what it means is you're an eloquent speaker, which is different than you can still be intelligent and not
and use a lot of filler words,
right?
Because that could come down to, and also because filler words is not just based off of intelligence. Also, I feel like it can also be based off of various mental health, anxiety,
sure,
OCD,
nerves. I mean, even like I feel like some athletes when they interview them right after a big game, like their adrenaline's still going, and
they ask stupid questions
right.
too.
And then the athletes are just like, well, today we had a difficult team to, and there's lots of uhs or ums. What I've told my students in my English classes is to just pause and think before you actually what's wrong with some silence? I feel like some people worry, and I think some people use filler words to continue talking because it's a signal of I'm still thinking about my idea, but if I pause for a moment and stop,
you'll think I'm done, or
you'll start talking. Right, exactly.
Oh, I see the point.
but I think that's different than I would rather be silent and have someone speak over me than, not that you spoke over me, but I'm just saying in the grand scheme of things, I would rather have that than constantly have to say stuff like this,
I guess so.
You don't really use filler words that much though.
I don't know if it's a problem, but sure, like a lot of people, I say and sometime.
Sure.
I don't use ones like or like or I'm pretty good at that.
Like drives me crazy.
Like used to be big when we were kids. That's when like was really in its heyday.
Right. The funny thing is I met foreigners abroad that were learning English as a second language. People in the Czech Republic, people in other countries that would use like a lot. And it weirded me out a little bit because you hear their accent and then you hear them say like.
But you expect like some California accent when you hear it.
I'm just like, oh, cool, dude.
Like, really?
Right. Sweet, bro.
Yeah, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't pay a lot of attention to whether I use a lot of filler words or not. So I couldn't tell you if I did or not.
Well, I think that's probably a sign you don't use that many.
I'd be aware of it if I did. You think?
I think so. Okay. I think maybe not. I don't know if people.
I think a lot of people aren't aware of it.
That's true.
And I think it's like a nervous tick or something.
Sure. Well, you know when I think it really exposes itself and comes out.
When you're nervous.
Public speaking, exactly. Yes. Public speaking.
Yes. You either get the filler words,
right,
or you get the super fast speaking. Though that's another common sign.
That's a bad one too. You just got to stand at that podium or stand up there, Jard,
and imagine everyone in their
look
underwear.
at everyone, and just put yourself in your happy place. Refer to our last episode about happiness, and maybe that'll help you some too.
Also something that I used to realize. I do agree that there is some truth to the sign of intelligence thing, especially depending on what the filler word is. Like, there's nothing that bothers me more than when someone uses like a swear word, like fucking, like
that's yeah. I think that's kind of funny, but
I think it's funny, but it doesn't sound nice to me. I don't like it. Now I'm trying to remember what I was just saying. That's why I'm using those filler words, because I was saying something and I forgot. Oh, I do think there is some truth to the sign of intelligence thing, because at least as someone that's learned another language before, you can tell where someone's proficiency is as a speaker by how often they use filler words. It's pretty clear usually. And so I've had a lot of classmates that between every word, are you okay?
I'm listening to you. I just closed my eyes. It's like, are you okay?
Between every word, almost, it feels like they have to think about what they're about to say. And you can hear them. You can almost hear them thinking, versus someone that can just say a complete sentence like they would in their own native language,
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of it though does come down to disorganized thoughts.
Sure.
When you have a lot of these filler words.
So whether it's you trying to speak a foreign language, or it's you
in your native language,
or you're in your native language and you're maybe frazzled or discomforted somehow, or distracted, or whatever it might be.
Exactly, you're distracted, or you just don't really know what you're going to say.
I think there also is some comfort to it. So in those social settings, I think there is some comfort to it, and it does allow you to keep talking sometimes too.
That's true.
Maybe I'm trying to fight back on saying that filler words are just all bad, especially since. Are you smelling your microphone? Is that what you're doing?
No.
Okay. Okay, you say that like it's a ridiculous thing for me to think.
Do you smell your microphone?
No, because it probably smells bad.
No, I'm just chilling here.
Okay. Because I do know that there are a lot of cultures out there that that have like a strong anti filler word policy. We tend to have here in the U.S. like a more of a social norms kind of thing. It's not really like it's not a problem, you know. But it seems like, at least before we started recording, you mentioned that in Russia, is it that they call them? They have, what's the word that you said they have?
I think they call them parasite words. If I
parasite
remember
words. And because I remember reading somewhere that I can actually, you know what we should do? I have a list of fillers in different languages.
Give them to me.
We'll start with French. French sounds are often used as fillers as opposed to words. Ba are the two most common sound fillers that are often accompanied by a face contortion and even a raising of the shoulders. I do think there is a level of body language filler too. Like I do know, like for example, like Indian cultures, the head bobble is almost like has a lot of different meanings and is a very versatile communication source.
Right.
And I can imagine that being almost or something like that being like a physical almost. Or even raising the shoulders. Common filler words include quoi, what, and tu vois, you see. Tu vois, you see, which is also. What is not really a common filler word in the U.S.
Well,
no, I don't.
no.
But definitely you see is. You see, or you see what I'm saying, or you know
what I'm saying?
You see is definitely a common one.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know what filler word that I don't like?
You know?
No, that doesn't really bother me. Although I do listen to a podcast, and one of the guys says, "You know what I'm saying," a lot. And I never really noticed it until
you should take a shot every time he says it.
I don't know if I'd make it through an episode, but I didn't notice it until my partner brought it up, and now I can't. Every time I'm like, you ruined this podcast for me. Oh no, the one that's been bothering me, especially a lot recently, is listen. I don't like when people say listen.
Oh yeah,
like as a filler, listen. So tomorrow we're gonna. I was like,
stop.
It's like I'm listening.
Collaborate and listen.
Italians tend to use hand gestures as an alternative. I can imagine that.
That's what I do in the podcast for all the people that are listening. Just hand gestures. That's all.
We don't even have video. For some reason, I still feel like we had video. And I was doing this. I was like, no one will see this. Italian. I was not prepared. It's my fault that we don't have video. Italians.
It's okay.
Italians tend to use hand gestures as an alternative, as they do so often in non-filler speech. There's a little smiley face that the author put. When Italians do use them, eco there and cioè, maybe CIOE, actually are common.
Okay.
I guess actually is kind of a common one here. Actually kind of has a bad connotation, like the well actually person. Well, actually.
Oh, geez, yeah. Oh, I hate that kind of person.
Someone that has a counter to everything you say.
Right. Should start doing that to you on the podcast, Jared. You say, well, actually.
Nobody likes the actually
Well,
people.
Actually, Jared, it's a stereotype that only Southern Italians talk with their hands. Well, actually. Yeah, that's...
Oh, yeah, is it?
Yeah. Well, actually.
Some of the most common... the aggressive well, actually. Some of the most common fillers or muletillas. Is that how you'd say that?
Muletillas.
Right here?
Sí, señor.
That's how you'd say that?
De España.
Have you heard that word before?
I haven't.
Oh, you I got you. In Spanish are pues. Is that how you... Pues?
Pues. I think.
And bueno. I've heard bueno before. I've heard that one.
Yep.
Meaning well. Okay.
Yep.
Haber or haber, depending on where. Haber. To see and o sea or be it. Interesting. Are also frequently used. What do they use in German? Do you have that up in front of you?
An M.
Yes.
Eigentlich. You could say actually as well. Ja, ich bin gestern eigentlich in die Schule gegangen und dann bin ich eigentlich nach der Schule nach Hause gegangen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could maybe use eigentlich. I think you kind of could. But yeah, Germans are, if you listen to German footballers, it's a lot of A's and M's.
Yeah. The
Wir
M.
waren heute die stärkere Mannschaft. Yeah.
In
Crazy
German,
stuff.
filler words are less common, though, apparently.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That is because we Germans have very organized thoughts because the verb must come at the end of the sentence.
Oh, so do you think that's why? Because they already have to know what
No.
yeah, because I don't think that's okay.
I'm just cracking a joke.
That might be
Maybe though. Who knows?
But I think it's. I don't know if. I wonder if it's. I feel like a lot of times it's more of a cultural thing than actual like
Right.
a language thing.
Right. That's true.
And there I go again. In Russian, sound fillers are not common. So Russians will usually use words like "here." That's not how you hy, but
Who?
is that what it is?
Maybe.
Which is well, or bot b-o-t. Is that what that is? Here it
Volt.
is. Or
Volt.
tak. Oh, volt.
Tak.
I put too much on the b.
Volt.
Oh, it's not even a b. It's
more of a V, yeah.
Volt. In tak, which is
I probably
so.
said it wrong, but yeah, tak. Yeah.
Fillers are.
And you also
amusingly-
hear them. Russians will sometimes also say etat, which means like this or that.
Oh, I guess these are similar, but this thing says that they're amusingly referred to as vermin words. But I guess a vermin
See?
and
There you go.
parasite are commonly gross things.
Right. Yeah, they're not really looked at as good words, Jared.
What
Yeah,
about
they're really not.
but they're we have yeah, I guess that's true.
You hear talk a lot with Czech as
So
well.
as a language teacher, are you very
I teach only filler words
are
when I
you
do my English classes.
Yeah, be careful.
At least 4
You
to
might wanna
5
switch
filler
up the-
words
You
per
might want to
sentence.
switch up the curriculum.
That's right.
Professors are out here getting got.
That's right.
Do you are you very aware of your use of fillers when you're around your non-English? No, you're the foreign one around your non-English speakers.
I don't think I use fillers very often.
Oh, so you okay?
I just
So you
don't
don't
think I
think you
use
have
them
to
very
really
often.
concern yourself with that?
Not usually. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch some of the tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's video recordings nowadays, not even tapes, Jared. But yeah, I don't think I use fillers too often. But you know, it can happen.
But I feel like it's interesting because I feel like I could probably make some argument for why fillers are not that bad in conversation. But it's probably impossible to make an argument for why fillers aren't good in writing.
Well, I don't think you really. I mean, the
It
only
doesn't
time
even
you
make any
use
sense. The whole point of
the only-
writing is to get to the point.
right. If you were using fillers in writing, I would think it would be
Like
because
some
you're doing a dialogue
poem or something. Oh, yeah.
or a poem
Or
sure.
dialogue, yeah.
Right.
It's what the character would be saying.
Right.
But yeah. But there's no, but still, even I guess sometimes that's not true. Sometimes you'll read uhs or ums in a dialogue or
Yeah,
something like that in a book.
I think that'll kind of also denote that they're thinking.
Yeah,
about
or once again that they have that anxiety that we talked about.
Right.
Maybe it's just
Being nervous.
Yeah,
Just take some deep breaths, people. You know, it's all right.
that's hard.
Stay
dude.
breezy.
Are you good at that? Can you? I mean, I know obviously you're good at presenting, but are you like a deep breath beforehand and center yourself before you get into it, or you just go up there and you go up like a basketball player running and hitting
Just
people's
dunk.
hands?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer the high five method myself.
Or just elbows at this.
I do the worm on my way out. You know,
No, you get the stage dive and they just carry
Ooh,
you
there
out.
go. That's right. Gotta be careful at the stage dive though.
Yeah, you
Make
got to
sure
be
there's
really
enough people.
confident in your
Right.
in your audience.
And your jumping abilities. If you don't make it to the audience, you flop
That's
down.
true. Oh yeah, there usually is that little
Yep,
gap.
there's
in
a
the-
gap. You
Yeah,
gotta make sure you got your Jordans on.
you got to
and you're
jump
ready
high
to take
and
flight.
far.
That's right. Yeah, I think the key with filler words is I would agree with you that you can definitely use them in conversation for sure. But when you are doing something like a presentation or even teaching, even if you're teaching a subject that's not a language class, I think it just makes a lot more sense to not use filler words all the
Of
time.
course, but I do feel like filler words are good at portraying like emotions. Like if I'm like, dude, or if I'm like, yo, you probably expect that I'd have some, something good to tell you or something like that.
Yeah, but you never bring me any good news, Jared. So
I beg to differ.
I've never heard you say either of those, I don't think.
What are you talking
As
about?
a filler word. Have you ever? I don't think you've ever been like, yo.
Maybe not yo, but I've definitely done the dude.
Maybe.
Like, for example, I feel like I did last time I was here and I was telling you about...
Actually, you've done the dude.
Yeah, when I was telling you about my work from home schedule.
Right.
I feel like I did that.
That's true.
I do use dude a lot. I
Dude's
don't like
a good
it.
one. But see, dude is... But see, I think here's the difference between a filler word and... We do have different types of... I'm coming in a little too hot. I'm getting a little excited here, Jared.
How long are we into this podcast?
I don't know. I haven't been... Anyways.
I haven't been paying attention to you.
Anyways, so the thing is, I think there's two different types of filler words.
Uh-huh.
So you have ones like and and they have different variations of these in other languages, right?
Sure.
But then you also have filler words kind of like dude. But dude can express many different things. So that
Right.
one word can do many different things.
But I feel like you could do that with an... Yeah, but I feel like you could do that with an
No,
too.
you can't. No, you can't.
Well, it's like what if it's like if I'm like what if I told you say some if you were telling me a story and you're like, oh, but did this person go and do this, and I'm like and it's like uh-oh.
But that's not...
Well, for example,
is that really a filler word? That's just avoiding answering the question because you don't want to answer it.
but you're using a filler word to portray some sort of emotion.
Okay.
Or it's like,
that's-
for
that's
example,
fair.
say it's like, oh, Chad, I turns out this is a hypothetical situation. It's like, oh,
Watch yourself, Jared.
I got someone pregnant. I have no idea how it happened.
Uh-oh.
And you're like, did you guys use protection? And I'm like, I feel like that says it all.
Yep, it does. Yeah, but I think it's
And I
because
betrayed a lot in that.
I think it's because you're answering
trying to avoid the question
Yeah, you're
or the
answering the
answer.
question by not answering it. Basically,
I guess so, but that's something
that's different though. I feel like than something like dude.
okay. Well,
No,
dude does
dude-
have more uses,
yeah,
but I feel like it can
yeah.
be used as a filler.
Well, for sure, 100%. I agree.
Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But obviously,
yeah,
it has more
definitely.
uses that are not just a filler. If you're like actually greeting
you can
someone,
for sure is another one, I guess.
for sure is a big one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can absolutely use dude though as a filler. Absolutely 100%.
Yeah. For sure.
You're right. But I will say I do think some filler words just they're not all the same. You know, I think dude is so much more. It can be a filler word, but it's so much more words. Isn't just doesn't have it. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is more multifaceted.
I imagine in China, it doesn't seem like filler words are that frowned upon. Like they're not.
It depends. I think a lot of these are like you see people at the market buying stuff and they're thinking,
Right.
you know, stuff different.
So you
stuff
don't
like that.
you don't see it as much in just like a normal conversation. Like people don't tend to talk.
I'm not sure. I didn't
Yeah,
have
that's
enough
true.
conversations with people.
That's
in,
true. I
in
don't know why I'm
Mandarin.
asking you. Like
That's
your,
true.
Yeah,
Well, we'd have to get a
Chinese
guest on.
expert.
Yeah, my friend Kelly, by the way, got there safely. She's out of quarantine and will start teaching. I think on Monday.
She's back in China.
Back in China. Yeah.
Oh,
So shout
wow.
out to my friend Kelly. I'm looking like there's a camera. There's no camera. But shout out to my friend Kelly. Have a safe semester over there. But see, dude, they've all gotten tested, been quarantined. I feel like honestly, like people are. I'm saying filler words. I'm saying like people are having normal face-to-face classes again.
I saw some in some of those towns out in the middle of nowhere when I was on my trip. I saw school in session at many places.
Did it feel weird?
A little bit, because especially a few times I saw like the school bus dropping off children. And
Do they have masks on?
Come on.
No.
Remember I told you last episode that doesn't even seem like someone realized that there's a pandemic happening right now.
Right. Yeah, well, I don't know. What are the numbers like in those places?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're such smallly populated cities, and it seems like a lot of people that don't travel a lot, based off of some of the signs I saw.
It could be, which maybe isn't a bad thing during these times, to be honest. But yeah, so the thing about filler words too is just this idea that you can't express your idea without having a lack of sound. I feel like a lot of people don't embrace silence anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like people.
I think it makes people uncomfortable.
Sure.
The awkward silence.
Mm-hmm. Whereas I think you and I have definitely sat in silence before.
Yeah.
And it's not weird. You know?
I mean, well, it's a little different for us where we've been around each other for a long time. But yeah, it is even a skill that a skill that I use a lot. I don't know if it's a skill, but it's just my personality.
I think it's kind of a skill.
It can be a skill, but I think it's also just my personality not to really talk a lot. But like, yeah,
says the guy that talks all the time on this podcast.
I mean, I contain it all to hear and annoying my partner.
That's fair. Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, no, I'm with you. But yeah, is also another one that I use a lot, especially on the pod.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, there is
is that a filler word? I don't know if that's a filler word. Just say
no,
yes.
because I think it's more just like a response.
It's a cool way to say yes,
and it's more. I feel like he's more showing that he's listening.
Right.
When he says that. There was a
that's true.
There was a podcast that we put out a while ago, and there was a filler word that apparently you used, and I found the comment on our YouTube channel really funny. It was, you saw it, you know what I'm going to say. It's someone replied, "You keep saying without further ado, yet there tends to always be further ado."
Yep. Got to keep you waiting, keep you on your toes.
Yeah. I think just more proof that your mentality of keeping people on their toes is not. No one wants it except for you.
All right. Well, Jared, without further ado, circling back, piggybacking on that idea. Oh man, without further ado, that's funny.
Oh man, that just made me laugh a little bit when I saw
that. Honestly, I wouldn't mind. People feel free if you want to roast us, go for it. I mean, honestly,
and especially if it makes us laugh.
Yep.
Then I'm definitely okay with it.
Without further ado, that's right. You better believe it.
All right, dude. Are we without further ado moving on?
We don't have a song today.
No, we don't. That's okay. That's okay.
That is true. Yeah, without further ado. Well, I'm trying to think what else to add.
Oh, we were talking. We were talking about the part of the reason I did notice that we weren't going to have a song of the pod, but one of the reasons why I was okay with that is because we were talking about the benefits of filler words in hip hop before we started. We started recording.
Yeah, what are some filler words in hip hop?
The N word.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it depends. Like a lot of rappers use their name as a filler word.
That's
Snoop
right.
D-O-double-G.
That's right. I mean, if you have a cool stage name like that, I mean, why not?
Yeah, exactly. So Akon used to always use his, or DJ Khaled. A lot of these people use their... I don't think that's how Young Jeezy would. Oh, that's how Akon. Yeah, okay. I was like, I don't think that's how.
So he's
Young
even
Jeezy
doing
sounds.
it for Young Jeezy.
Or like Rick Ross has the Maybach music.
Right. We need a cool one like that for our podcast, Jared.
Yeah, we do. How do you even make something like that? Like we need a catchphrase first,
right?
Or like a untranslatable podcast. Stay breezy. No, that's. I don't know.
Stay breezy.
That doesn't really have anything to do with our podcast.
That's true. But
except it is an untranslatable, I guess.
It is good to stay breezy, though, too.
And it could be considered an untranslatable.
Right. That is true.
So, yeah, but I mean, to be fair, hip-hop is not the only genre of music that uses fillers.
Well, I think fillers in music serve a different purpose than fillers in conversation, if that makes any sense.
Sure, of course.
Because fillers, well, maybe
but sometimes
not.
no. Because
actually, no, they're not. They're just to fill space.
Sometimes, especially in hip hop, sometimes it is like, especially if you have like a, I need one more beat on this I need to fill it with something.
A couple more bars, son.
And so you just add the N word.
I'm glad that's not what we do here, Jared, at the Untranslatable
even
podcast.
though apparently you're trying to get me to do it.
Never. I was trying to get you to say the Chinese filler word, which is that.
You're trying to get me canceled is really what's happening.
Yep.
No.
Because that's exactly what I want, Jared. So I can do this all myself and just spew all my stupid ideas
to the public. That would be
interesting
to see. I bet
it would be terrible. It would be terrible.
I feel like we'd have a lot more listeners if it was just you.
If it was just me, no, I don't think so.
For some reason, maybe it's just I have self-esteem problems, but I always
can agree to disagree on
you're
this
the
one.
star of this podcast.
No, definitely
and I'm
not.
just here for the ride.
We're both here for the ride. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We're both here for the ride. But yeah, filler words are definitely not the most ideal thing if you are teaching, doing some public speaking, I would say. But as we've said, yeah, conversations are good. I feel like the other thing with fillers is, to me, it kind of exudes a lack of confidence a little bit.
I understand that.
Because it's like, I don't know. I have more respect for people.
Is it almost like a... And I'm not saying that this is true, but maybe I'm saying
maybe you are.
True, I feel like this is going to be a hot button thing I'm about to say. It's almost kind of like how...
Don't get us canceled here, Jared. We work hard.
It's almost kind of like a stutter almost. where it's like.
Yeah, but I think a stutter is different.
But I think a stutter is associated a lot with like a especially in like
nervousness
in like pop culture with like a nervous nerd or something like that, someone that's scared and quiet. And usually it seems like that's how people, at least once again in movies and TV shows I've seen from the 90s and early 2000s, the way that these people get over that fear tends to be by being like cool or like
getting confidence.
Yeah, getting that confidence.
Yeah, I think confidence does have something to do with it a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I generally don't get very nervous now if I speak in front of people.
That's good.
It just, after you've taught, and you've, especially when I walked into that classroom in China and saw, 46 students staring at me.
Yeah, it would be an exhausting job if you got tired or uncomfortable every time you were in front of a new crowd. You couldn't.
Playing music in front of people, I mean, that can be pretty nerve-wracking the first couple times you do it. You know? Your hands start shaking. You drop your guitar pick.
Oh, I've played music in front of people, and
Jared was playing his trumpet and he dropped it.
I know. I've messed up playing piano before. Remember, I told you during the Christmas thing I messed up.
What happened?
I messed up in the middle of the song.
What did you do? Did you do like a jazz improv in the middle? Or?
No, it fell apart.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
it was not good. It does happen.
It's okay.
And without further ado,
I got a good one for you.
Okay.
When I was doing a gig with my rock band in high school, we played "Can't Stop" by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and there's that kind of slower but upbeat kind of reggae beat in the middle end of the song, and I accidentally started jumping on the offbeat, and so it was completely opposite. It just looked ridiculous.
Were you able to get back on?
I mean, I just stopped jumping.
You just have to like stop and go back in, don't you?
No, I just stopped jumping and just kept playing.
Okay.
But, yeah, so we all have those moments.
Sure, of course. I mean, that's part of the process.
Right.
It's just it's painful.
Exactly. I think the key with filler words is using them only if you really need to.
Right. So, as I mentioned, if you use it as some sort of emphasis on a sentence or something, that's almost a deliberate use, not just a mindless
Right. Correct.
So, yeah. So when I do that extended it's not actually that I'm thinking. It's just like it's more than just a filler word at that point, almost.
Yeah, dude. For sure. I think there are certain filler words that are I don't know, maybe a little better than others. And all these. I wonder though how other places tend to view filler words, if they're all viewed as kind of negative.
I feel like a lot of the romantic languages kind of have a reputation of using a lot of fillers.
Yeah,
I feel like French,
Italians, it's all hands,
like,
bro. It's all hands.
Like I feel like that's I don't know. For some reason, that feels like a stereotype that I have when I think of like a lot of the Romance languages.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah, Germans don't use, I don't think, really that many filler words.
No, I'm with you.
To be honest. One that's a good one, though, that I like is gel. It means right.
Is that...
You use it at the end of the sentence.
Is that like a specific dialect, or is that pretty common?
Well, it depends. It changes throughout
the way they say
it
in
changes.
Germany.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They all have it, like, most of them have a version of it.
Right. So you could say, like... Morgen regnet's, gell? Like tomorrow it's gonna rain, right? Mm-hmm. Or
is that a filler though, or is that more just like looking for a?
I mean, a lot of times you can say that and still know the answer.
Sure. That's more like a rhetorical question, but yeah, right. I feel you.
Right. So it is kind of a filler as well. But I would say, try to reduce your fillers. Don't be afraid to embrace the silence a little bit, and let us know, though, your favorite fillers at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. You can slide into those DMs on Twitter, Untranslatable1, the number one, numero uno. You can check us out on Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. You can check out clips, some pics, all sorts of great stuff on there. And lastly, please let us know how we can make this podcast better for you with 5-star reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. And as we say here at the Untranslatable Podcast, dziękujemy, muchas gracias, shisha, and do svidania. We got our mascot for this episode. She definitely likes you, that's for sure.
I finally got to see her in her element, sleeping.
Yep. She sleeps all the time. This dog sleeps at least 16 hours a day.